In this week's episode of Talkin' Town Ball, we'll talk playoffs. Playoffs? Yes, playoffs. A very postseason-centric episode on the docket today. We also have a very special guest, Nick Kulseth, manager and captain of the ship for the Windom Pirates. Pour yourself a lime cucumber Gatorade Zero over ice and grab a glazed and raised donut. It's time to talk town ball.
Under those stars where the heart beats strong, Minnesota diamonds where we all belong. Cheering voices carrying through the night, the soul of the state under stadium lights.
And welcome to Talkin' Town Ball. Today's date is Wednesday, July 30th. I think, is that the last day of July? Is August tomorrow?
31st.
There's a 31st in July.
Whatever.
I think the rhyme goes 31 days has July. And then
No,
something... It's 31. It's 31.
31.
It is
All right.
31 day.
We were just talking about that rest versus rust. Maybe I'm a little rusty because I don't know how many days are in July.
We're well rested, but again, we're busy.
And well rusted.
And
we're
I'm
well
going to
rusted.
say this cliche that I hate. It's been a minute, guys.
been a minute.
God, obnoxious.
Welcome back.
Totally haven't talked at all since the last episode once.
not
But
even
we
a little
are down to the end of the season, so I do want to give a hashtag RIP to all the teams that are done playing.
Already.
It
We're
bu-
already
that-
seeing teams
that,
fall.
That bugs me a little bit, so we'll pour one out to those teams. July 30th, yep, you're going to start losing some teams in league playoffs, but I saw some teams like July 20th and 21st were done, and that bugs me. That
Too
grinds
early.
my gears.
I saw like Lake Henry was
Yeah.
out like 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
Like,
no.
how did that happen?
probably 10 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was that. But
Which you're like,
End of
"God,
May, I think it was.
I don't want to call out these leagues, but try to just have league playoffs right at the end of July so everybody can play for more than 2
yeah,
months.
extend that season. a
Everybody
little
loves their lake time, the end of the summer, whatever, have fun, non-baseball related, but that's too early
Yeah.
for that.
bit. Yeah.
So
I mean,
it
It's
is
still nice in the fall. You can do that stuff later.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
It is the bittersweet time of the season. I feel like in June you just kind of get ramped up. You get a couple rainouts, so you just hammer games in July, and then boom, it's August. And we had played Avon the other night, and I had some young guys were like, "Oh, I go back to college in a month," and I have to remind myself, we got one more month of summer. We're good.
Yep.
I was explaining to him, I go, August can move slow.
Yep.
Because once you're in the playoffs, majority of those games are weekend games.
Right.
Yeah, a little
So
more spread out.
you got those 4 or 5 days between games sometimes, and that clock does drag on because you want to get to the ballpark
Yeah,
and play.
yeah.
So it's bittersweet that the days are numbered for all of us. Hopefully, everybody could play on Labor Day, but only
is not
only
the
6
case.
teams will.
Yeah.
Them last few days. So, but yeah, enjoy it. It'll just take a deep breath, enjoy it. If you go on a road game, get there early, take it all in. But yeah, them days between playoff games, the weekdays, they do move slow.
Oh,
So
man.
just you don't sit and watch the clock. But So before I move on to what you guys want to talk about, we got to give a little shout out to, first of all, the DRS League and the Vesely Warriors, the 2025 DRS League champs. So
People didn't know we film in front of a live studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're out.
But congrats to the Warriors.
Yeah.
Obviously.
double clap.
They got some love on Twitter. I saw. It was,
And you know what? We've talked about it before. When you have a league that has 2 to 3 classes, figure out something unique, get creative to, again, make all the games matter, make the results matter. And they did for Vesely. They won a league. They're a C team, and they won a league that has A and B teams in it. They win the DRS with 37.5 points.
Yeah.
So how did they get those points? So I'm going to do a little rundown of the DRS championship formula. A win over an A team is 2 points. A over B, 3 points. A over C, 2 points. B over A, 3.5 points. B over B, 2 points. B over C, 1.5. C team over an A team is 5 points.
Okay.
C win over a B team, 2.5. And C over C is 2. So it sounds like the DRS is going to cut him a massive check.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
smokes.
No, I don't.
Right now-
get him a case of beer.
Right now, for
Absolutely.
me, it's the Zach Galifianakis GIF or GIF, however you want to pronounce it, where he's doing the math and the numbers
The
are up. I'm like,
equations.
points. All right, let's figure
5
this out.
points, C over A, and we've got a couple A matchups. And
Would love to get a DRS rep, someone who can really dive into how they came up with that system and the reasoning behind it on the podcast. I think would be cool.
You know-
so then other leagues
Right.
can take note and be like, hey, this is how you get creative and do it.
And for those leagues out there that are doing something similar, we didn't forget about you. I just noticed
I did.
that one.
I forgot.
I want to say this, being the North Star League that we're in, and we're kind of going by it's just like a very traditional approach where, teams of your class really only matter for your seeding. We could absolutely see change in the off season regarding how we approach it, because we see leagues that are having success and making games matter.
I think
I'd say if you want to throw that same, if C over A is like this big, you've basically got like a wanted poster for A teams if you're a C team. Say like Buffalo, who would considered it, well, they are A this year. Who knows where they're at next year? But if Buffalo is A this year, and the
Well, and us being C teams.
and the C teams were given the chance to get 5 points or this big come up, you're approaching that game a whole lot differently than you would normally see.
I think we've beat the points and the reclassification and all that stuff to death over however many episodes we've been in. But I think, and this is me getting up on my soapbox here, I think it's a great opportunity. I know there's been change. Some people love it. Some people don't. Whatever. This is a great opportunity to let's run with this for a little bit. Like we can't just immediately switch back to something or whatever, or back to something. Let's give this a run.
Yeah.
Let leagues figure this out. Come up with some sort of point system. Get rid of all the talk about, this game doesn't matter. This one does. Let everybody figure it out so we can make every single game, quote, matter.
Nah, I just switch it every 2 years.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, 2 years.
Put no thought into
Take it
it.
all back. Let's do it.
I'll say this. I'm looking at the DRS, and Union Hill and Webster finished in second and third. They are both B teams. I'm 100% sure they are in the same district. Both 16-5 overall. And I don't know if the DRS, if they're matched up with anybody else. I think they are. I think Jordan and some of the River Valley League teams are matched up with them.
Sure.
But that can help too with a tiebreaker, because Union Hill, not Union Hill, Union Hill,
For some
great
teams.
place. They went 16-5. Webster went 16-5. That's the same record according to my math. But Union Hill got 36 points. Webster 35.5. So when you start doing the
Man.
tiebreakers, that might
that's-
be able to help. And again, I don't know how that breaks down when you start having a couple different leagues make up a district or a
This
region.
is-
But tiebreakers happen. We literally were in one with Plato and
Yeah, even
Watertown.
North Star
So,
League, we were almost staring down a 3-way tie if
Yeah.
a certain way, if it falls a certain way, and then it just comes down, to run differential. It's like
coin flip.
yeah, it is. It's really just like at that point you're splitting hairs on these tiebreakers. Whereas I really like how they just, it's just very clear. It's just clear as day how that's going to break down.
So maybe what teams, leagues, regions, sections, districts, whatever they're all called now, here's an opportunity. Maybe we get a DRS rep at a state board meeting, and we invite all of the league reps or commissioners or whoever out there. Put on a little clinic. Here's how we do this. if you're looking at implementing a point system, this is how we came up with it.
Yeah,
And
give us a PowerPoint on the DRS point system.
I think it would be good for everybody to know this info. So like, make your league the best it can be, or
Yeah,
your
like
region or whatever.
We saw, overwhelming success doing this, and it felt like every game was meaningful. There's going to be a lot of, representatives in that state board audience that are saying, yeah, there are rumblings of like, well, the C versus B matchup didn't have the same fire that it normally does.
Right.
And then here's an answer to it. It's right in front of us. And so it's like, yeah, we should absolutely be looking around the state to seeing what worked for everyone and what didn't, and then, optimize it, do the best you can. I think we're looking for an answer to a new question, like how can we make this the best it can be? And that might be it. But
I think that's what everyone wants. I think the board wants it to be the best it can be. All the leagues, the teams.
You're looking at, it's the creativity in that DRS that is allowing people to see, okay, there is a new path here. We can maybe look down this road, and credit to them and all the leagues that are doing things a little bit differently or outside the box, because that might open up a new path.
And the NBA and the WNBA, they do the in-season tournament, which is weird. And then the WNBA has the Commissioner's Cup. So it's okay for us non-professional athletes.
We're not professional. Well, we're not athletes. I know that.
We're amateur
ball players.
Ball players.
It's okay if we do goofy stuff. We
Yeah.
don't have to be like, oh, it's got to be black.
Banana
white.
ball next year.
Let's not.
Let's draw a line. Let's draw a line before we do that. No, Goofy's fun though. Like, have some fun.
Yeah, 100%. Let's just figure out what works best, and don't be afraid in the off season to make a change. I know that there's some very stubborn, there are stubborn people out there that don't want to shake it up.
No, I can get that way. I know that, but then it's like you got to just be open to stuff.
You have to be open to new things. Jordan, I don't know. I'm going to segue that, because we're talking about new things. How about new teams?
Teams.
You want to talk about a new squad? We've referenced them before. You picked up kind of a late regular season exhibition game.
Yeah. So we've got a little bit of time before our first region game.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good for you. Yeah.
Don't play till Saturday, like August 3rd.
Saturday, August 2nd at noon at the Butte Optimus Park, Litchfield. Everybody, hashtag fill the hill.
Fill the hill. Fill the berms. Up in
fill the
Optimus.
berms.
No,
Yeah.
so you had some
a little
time.
bit of time. Wanted to pick up an extra game just to keep guys sharp. We went and played the brand new to the NBA Wilmer Indians over at Swanson Complex in Wilmer, also known as Orange Field.
Also known as the Wilmer Guardians. We
Wilmer
like to joke about
Guardians
that
Indians. Any nickname that they want to go with.
Yeah, 100%.
So picked up a game, went over there just this past Friday, I guess. I'm trying to think of when we're recording.
Yep.
Went over there on Friday. The Wilmer Indians are kind of run by a guy named Jean Carlos Morales, and this dude's awesome. Super fun, super welcoming, made our experience there great. He's got a group of people between concessions, food tent type deal. The PA booth had a few people in it that just made the night really fun. The team was super fun and enjoyable to play. The atmosphere there was awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't know. Okay, so I didn't know that volume of sound could go as high as it did, but from their PA booth, they were bumping tunes the entire game. And I'm looking around our dugout, and our catcher, Nikolai Niemola, goes, "This is awesome. This is so loud, and they are having so much fun." And, we're watching them take infield, outfield, and they're, all talking the whole time, having a blast. And we're like, God, they're having a ton of fun.
All of
now
Western,
now we're having a ton of fun.
Exactly. All of Western Wilmer can hear that there's a game going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, way out west, as
Way
we
out
know.
west,
But
of course.
so John Carlos, he started the game at catcher, ended up moving to first base, and I was talking with him throughout the entire game, and he was kind of filling me in. We are both #Warrior brothers. I don't know if that's a real thing, but we both went to Ridgewater.
Oh,
so
heck yeah.
he younger than I, but we're both Warriors or whatever. So we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that field when I was at Ridgewater compared to when he was and compared to now. So for those who don't know, Swanson Complex, it's a turf infield, really nice stuff, grass outfield. They put in a new grandstand that's huge and really cool. The dugouts are real sunken-in dugouts, and they're really big. But yeah, just everything from the game itself to how they were so welcoming to the food tents, which I will touch on in 1 second, to the PA and the music and everybody having fun. I cannot recommend it enough. Go get a game with the Wilmer Indians. Go out there, enjoy the experience. It was a blast. They are currently playing an independent schedule. I know they play a lot of the Corn Belt teams.
Yeah, that's where they're ending up.
And
right?
I think they're being put into that. Well, so that's district. So that's where they're placed, and I believe they start their playoffs this coming weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
Back to that food tent, because as everyone knows, we are pro concession. Guy running the food tent comes over to our dugout before the game, and he's like, "I've got a special for you guys after the game."
What?
And we're like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "Here it is. It's a hot dog, it's chips, and it's a soda, and it's $5." And I'm like, "Okay, a hot dog. Yeah. Everybody's got a hot dog at their
of course.
ballpark.
Yep.
Nobody has this hot dog.
Really?
This is so you've got your bun / hot dog base, right?
Of course.
And then we've got the fried onions, the peppers, ketchup, mustard, and then there was this white spicy sauce, and I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was fantastic.
Oh, wow.
And they toast the bun, they butter it all up. It's served with like major jalapenos, big jalapenos on the side. And we had to have put down 1,000 of them after the game. So
what a day! What a night!
They were so. Again, the atmosphere there, incredible, super welcoming team. They just really hospitable is the way to put it.
Yeah, 100%. It sounds like a good group, and you hope that they can stick together over there and continue to grow.
They had a pretty big roster. Giancarlo said that he had a few guys missing, because it was kind of a last-minute game. But I'm looking in their dugout, and it's like, well, they probably still have like 15, 16 guys here, even missing, however many. But they love it out there. The crowd was incredible. They were letting us have it, which is always fun. Every time we would swing and miss, you would hear air horn just over and over. I'm like, this is so much fun.
Oh man,
like our guys were swinging and missing and not mad about it. They're like, oh, this is great. So again, I'll wrap it up with that. If you can get a game with them, go for it. You got to give it a shot because it's super fun.
100%. And I know that the manager there, he was trying to schedule a ton of games. I think we talked about him before, maybe with, I think it was Tom Elliott said, he was reaching out to all the managers everywhere trying to get games. And I think next year it'll come a little bit easier for them just because being that they were a new team and the timing behind it and getting all the things lined up, I think next year they'll be maybe a little bit more
and
just more comfortable getting into it.
And you would think they're probably just placed in the Corn Belt then, I would assume.
Yeah, the independent schedule will go to the wayside.
So they'll have their league game set, and then if you can snatch up one of those non-leagues with them. Do it.
100%. That sounds awesome. We're gonna try to get out there for sure. That sounds like a good time. As far as other things we want to talk about here in our little opening segment, just a few little playoff prep items. We had some, I wouldn't say drama, but maybe a little bit of drama with a lineup card that came through. There was a game. Ryan, who were the two teams involved? I don't even know.
You were putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
Belle Plaine and Hamburg.
Belle Plaine and Hamburg.
Okay.
I think there was a pitcher for Belle Plaine, and we're not going to say this stuff happens in the regular season all the time. You throw down names and you're your reserve section of your lineup card, and sometimes you'll forget a guy, or a guy shows up late and you didn't have him down, and you just yell over to the other team like, "Oh, make sure to add number 20 or something." Well, in the playoffs, you cannot do that. You gotta make sure we get our names on the lineup card. Hayes, you gave us a call the other day just to we kind of clarified this. Even if you throw reserves on a lineup card and the game gets suspended for, say, like rain or lightning or something, and you come back the next day, you cannot bring on some guy that wasn't available for that previous day.
Yeah, if they're not on the lineup card.
Right,
and
right.
Get rain, or, yeah, so for that game. It's not unusual that we have some different rules in the regular season as opposed to the playoffs. I mean, this wasn't like a guy who didn't get his games in. This wasn't like a guy who wasn't on their roster, who hadn't been on their roster for many years. It was just going through it and didn't put the name, and it didn't get caught by the whoever was checking
Sure.
before the game. So no, I just saw that, and just we had a quick phone call with, just as you guys are going to the playoffs, and so are like, hey, reminder, put everybody on there.
Get everybody on there.
We were actually at Plato the other night, and I've seen a couple other teams in the Crow River Valley League do it, is they just get their reserves on a sticker, which is kind of sweet. I mean, granted, you can add a guy, at the end of June after you have, 20, 30 stickers made, and you just got to write his name down, but, that's one option, so you're not going to forget. But
It also...
just, you get into playoffs here. And a lot of districts and regions and sections are going to adhere to the state tournament rules. Wear your full uniform into the ballpark.
Yep.
Yeah.
And make sure everybody is on that lineup card.
100%. 100%. And you go along with the sticker idea. It also saves... I would say you're probably going to save 5 minutes pregame if you have a sticker.
And avoid any cramping in your...
Yeah, I mean, there are times, I have 20-plus guys on my roster. And
Good for
normal,
you.
Yeah, exactly. On a normal day, you might have 14, 15 guys, but, you get into this playoff, everyone wants to be a part of it. I'm going to be throwing 22 names on a card, and, yeah, like you said, the cramping that comes along with it, it's devastating.
Could put you on the IL.
It really could. It'll mess with you. It's just something to be aware of as we go into the playoffs. Don't give anybody any reason to question, the guys that you're putting out there to play for you. So that would be a bummer.
Yeah, no one wants
that.
End a year or, get penalized for that. So.
Exactly. Yep. And just make sure as we get into the playoffs, you check out the state board website, check out your roster. You can change your inactives, your actives.
Yeah, you got to have it to 25 before the first playoff game in your
region, or
region,
district,
whatever district starts.
We've said it a billion times. If you have a question, just call a state board member. They'll
email them,
help you
call them.
figure it
Yeah.
out. Call, email. Yeah.
They will be super helpful with that, and it can save a lot of heartbreak and headaches down the road for sure. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this opening section. Before we get into our interview, we can also say we're going to tease this a little bit, but the selection show is in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks from now when this drops. It's, I believe, Sunday, August. Let me pull this up.
9th or 10th.
Yeah, it's going to be the 10th of
this is
August.
the MBA bracket selection show.
So, of course, all these regionals and districts and sections are going to get wrapped up by that Sunday. Yeah. And then, you've got the state board kind of gets locked in a room and they put the brackets together.
Bracketology 101.
is going to be, it's going to be big there that day. And you've got the selection show that people have really started to enjoy. I mean, I always am tuning in. I mean, Hayes and Jordan, you both have actually been on the selection show as expert voices for Minnesota Town Ball.
Well,
I don't know.
We were the last 2 phone calls on somebody's contact list.
Yeah, maybe that's true. And Hayes only burnt a couple bridges when he did that, so that was good.
Right.
What we're gonna say is we might have some involvement. We're gonna tease that. Kind of fun, and after this drops, our next, I don't know if you'd call it our next, content drop will be somewhat involved with the selection.
Maybe
show.
just keep your eyes peeled. Follow us at, what is our Twitter? I don't know.
Talkin' Town Ball.
At Talkin' Town Ball on Twitter.
Follow the Twitter account, and there's gonna be some fun things coming up. It's not just dropping episodes. We're gonna get out there with the people. We're gonna be involved. I think in the state tournament, we haven't made anything official, but I know that we want to get out to Hutchinson and interview.
Who's
teams.
we? I don't want to get out to Hutchinson.
Way out west.
Way out west.
It's
yeah,
way out west
way,
for Hayes here. But
No,
that's way down. It's way down south too. Apparently,
I'm a Brownton Glencoe.
yeah, you're a
guy,
Brownton Glencoe Gaylord guy.
Gaylord too.
Yeah, Hutchinson. Yeah, I could see where that could be an issue
Yeah.
for sure. But with us being still North Star guys, we've got to give love to our Huskies out there, and we will probably be on site for some interviews, talking to some teams, and just see how their playoffs are going.
We'll
to
fit
that
it
point.
around Litchfield's state tournament
Yeah,
schedule.
right. Yeah, right.
at Talkin' Town Ball on Twitter.
Yeah,
follow it. You'll see.
We have a Facebook too, but it's not as active. I will admit that. To follow the Twitter account, it will give you all the information you need. So that's our tease. Look for us. Some involvement with that selection show Sunday could be a good time. Our
We got
guest,
an interview. We
got an interview, and we've actually already talked to Nick here, and boy, it's a fun one. We had a really good time. Good guy out of Windom, born and raised, and you'll get to learn more about the Pirates down south in Windom. So if we want to lead into that right now,
Let's
you
do
guys
it.
are good with it. All right. Well, with that being said, our interview with the Windom Pirates manager, Nick Kulseth.
All right, we're back here at Talkin' Town Ball, and we have a special guest today. And some would call him the captain of the ship down in Windom. Maybe some would refer to him as Blackbeard. I don't know, Nick, if you have any facial hair, but we have Nick Kulseth, who runs the Windom Pirates. They are actually the number 1 seed down in Region 10. They just finished up taking care of business in their first round matchup. But Nick, how you doing today?
We're doing good today.
Excellent, excellent. So we talked just before we hit the old record button, and it sounds like you are originally from Windom, born and raised. And do you want to give us a little rundown on your background, college, and how you came to take the reins or steer the ship down there in Windom? And I know Jordan's going to want to talk about the pirate ship.
Oh yeah.
Everyone wants to talk about the Pirates.
Yeah.
But no, I'm born and raised from Windom. Played football, baseball, wrestling, and then went off to college at South Dakota State and wrestled out there for 3 years before I got injured. And then I moved back right after college, and it was like 2011 when I took over for the Pirates, and
I was going to go back to your college years wrestling at South Dakota State. In the summer times, did you come home and play town ball?
my first year I did.
Okay. Yeah, I know sometimes you get a college wrestler, college basketball player. We've dealt with it. I know John played football in college, and then you got to deal with some guys leaving, right around playoff times. But I'm always interested to see if guys who aren't playing college baseball but playing another sport go home in the summertime and just play 20 ball games with the boys again. So that's
Right.
good. I like that.
Yeah, no, the first year I came back, but then, after that I took a job out there, and I was actually the grounds crew working on all the fields out of South Dakota State.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
So you
that was
were
my summer job. And that's kind of where I took, an interest in working on all that stuff.
Right, because we got your background information a little bit from a shared contact, a guy from Litchfield, Adam Fast. He gave me some info, and he said you're the field maintenance expert out there. So we were aware of that as well. So you get a part-time, you a little job out there running field maintenance for South Dakota State. Was that just like a full-on like prep the field every day type thing? I mean, what were you doing out there?
But basically everything. We were mowing, we were dragging fields, we were chalking, we were pouring concrete out there, we were building fences, um, building dugouts. I mean,
Doing
a
it
lot
all.
of everything. Yeah, and learning how to, we're aerating and overseeding and
Awesome.
a lot of different things with them.
So you carried a lot of that knowledge back to Windom. I mean, is that something you take a lot of pride in? Is just working on that field and kind of advancing it? I know a lot of teams these days. I mean, you look at these teams that are prepping for the state tournament. They're pumping a lot of new, builds into their park, and they're working on their surface a ton. Is that something that you take a lot of pride in?
We take a lot of pride in that. The look of Island Park, we take a lot of pride in that, and we're actually working on some more stuff that will be pretty unique. Some stuff kind of like the pirate ship down there.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. It leads us into it. We can talk about the pirate ship. What I want to talk about too, we had some episodes early on when we started our podcast, and we had dropped a lot of Windom kind of just little tidbits out there. We 100% talked about the pirate ship. I also wanted to talk about, you being kind of the field maintenance guy. You had some serious flooding. Can you go over when exactly that was and kind of the process to get back, to normal?
At the end of June last year, where all of a sudden, I get a phone call at 6 a.m. from one of our board members, and it's like, "Hey, we need you to get down the park. We just got 7 inches of rain."
7.
And I go,
Oh.
"Oh crap!"
Yeah.
So let's hustle down there, and we started pulling things out of sheds because our water level was already high, and the river was up, partially out banks, and we're like, "Well, we gotta get stuff out." And by 11 o'clock, they closed the park. By 2:30, that water was covered our field.
Mm.
And it hung out our field for a solid 3 weeks, and it got 4 to 5 feet deep out there.
Unbelievable.
I was going to say, that's probably all you can do at that point is just get stuff out of there. I mean, you could try to start pumping, I guess, but
You're
there's
not-
so much
if it's
water.
4
What
deep-
are you going to do?
Yeah.
4
It's,
feet deep is ridiculous.
It's the first, our field is the first thing to take on water.
Are you right up
what?
against a river there in Windom?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're right next to it. So it's like the lowest spot on the banks is right center field. And so we'll take on water first. But yeah, it got so deep that the water level was a foot away from the bottom of the pirate ship.
Oh, you
They-
almost got
so-
to actually
with-
set sail.
There was an
Yeah, that ship was ready to set sail.
there was some pretty iconic photos. I mean, obviously, it's like a kind of a little bit of a tragedy having the water the way it was, but pretty ridiculous. There must be like a highway or some sort of road that sits a little higher right next to the field. And
Yeah, Highway 60 runs right next to us. That's a main highway, and that's the best part about our ballpark is we got that highway that runs by. So that's kind of where everyone, like, "Oh yeah, we went through Windom. You're the town with that field right there on the highway."
You've got and of course the pirate ship is something a sight to behold too.
It
Yeah.
is. It definitely is.
Yeah, that's really cool. Just a little history on that, and we can stop gushing about it. When exactly did that get built? I mean, who kind of led the charge with the pirate ship?
Oh, that was about 6 years ago.
Oh,
We had It was around 6 years ago, I think. I can't remember. It was right around then. But yeah, a guy from Windom. He owns the veterinary clinic. He kind of got the idea. Then he spearheaded some local guys, like Greg Hannafeld and his crew to build that and put it up.
I always push. It's funny. Everybody has a budget, and people, unless you get some community member to want to donate something, like you might have just had a guy come in and say, I want to do this. And I sometimes talk to my board in Litchfield and I always say, let's try to find something unique to put out there. Because I think people love uniqueness with town ball. You don't want to kind of fall into let's just be, copy paste.
Yeah.
Having something unique at a field is there's something very just fun about it. And obviously you've caught our interest because we've name dropped Windom multiple times. The fun part about name dropping Windom is you guys are actually super successful this year. You're having a really good year. I mean, I contribute to our rankings on the Class C on the website with the state board, and I don't know if I had Windom, in that top 10 until maybe halfway through the season. You guys just keep winning ball games down there.
Yeah, we're just putting a lot together, and I think the main thing is we're just having a lot of fun. It's a great group of guys that we have.
You've got like you said, good group of guys. What would you say is kind of the makeup of your roster? Do you have a lot of, is it a young team, a lot of college guys?
Well, a mix of both. We got a high school kid that just graduated starting. We got some college kids, and then we got a bunch of guys that just finished up college and are back, and and we have our veterans.
Sure. What would you say? I mean, you could just give us a real quick kind of overview here, but what are some strengths of the Pirates this year?
Our pitching.
Well, that helps.
I think we noticed that.
Yeah, we'll get into that more soon, but you're obviously pitching, especially going into the playoffs here. Always nice to have that be your number one strength. We're seeing some big scores too. I mean, you've put some games together where you're hitting the ball pretty well.
Yeah, we're it's probably one of the first years we've been able to score a lot of runs, and haven't had to really just sit and rely on our pitching. Mm-hmm. Where we're putting 10 plus runs up multiple games.
Well, and that's kind of a pretty good recipe for success. I mean, you have the strong pitching, and if you can get some run support, you get to a position like where you're at right now. You won a couple ball games to start your postseason, right?
Yep. Yeah, we won 2 here this week.
Can you kind of just go into it with us, just talking about Region 10C? Just how do they approach that playoff setup, and your seeding, and how do you find that berth to state?
So we play series. So they seed us 1 through 8, and obviously 1 plays 8 and 2 7 and so on. But so we play a best of 3 series.
Okay.
It's a little different, but I mean, I'll tell you what, we've had a lot of game 3s that we are just packed.
Yeah.
I mean, we played in, probably about 10 game 3s, in my time here.
Sure. So you guys have always had the 3-game series then for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before I came back, they played bracket play.
Okay.
But then they went to this 3-game series, and I mean, it's fun. It's intense, and I mean, we got a massive rivalry this week playing Hadley.
Oh, I was going to ask you who your big rival is down there. And and you guys are the 1, they're the 4. Looks like you both got out of your first round. And then are you opposite? Is it Milroy and Jackson, the other side of the other best of 3?
Yep, Milroy's 2, Jackson's 3.
Okay, and so then are they taking the winners of those 2 series to state, or do you guys get 3 teams? Or
No, we get 2.
you get 2?
So
Okay, so
Wow,
this
so
is
it
it.
whittles
win,
down.
There we go.
win the next series to get in.
Okay,
And then it's just a 1 and a 2 seed.
So when
series.
when does this next series for you take place then? What dates and times so the people can come out, check
fill
this
the
out?
seats.
So Wednesday night we're in Windom at 7:30.
Okay.
And
Right when the
that's
pod
game
drops.
1.
So that's
That's the day our pod drops. So everybody, if you're listening,
Tonight.
if you're on the road right now, make a detour.
Yep.
Who-
Head to Windom.
Head
Yep.
to Windom, head to the Pirate Ship. That's going to be a fun one. And I do see I've never had a playoff where you play a best of. I've never done that. I can absolutely see where that could get dramatic. Are you playing almost? Are you playing back-to-back nights? Are you playing every other night?
No, so we will play Wednesday, Saturday is game 2,
Okay.
and then Sunday is game 3.
Okay, so it
So-
would make it difficult. So say if you had a number 1 or an ace to throw Wednesday, it would be tough to get them back Sunday. I mean, you're going to see the pitching, probably the full staff of the other team.
Oh, you see everyone's staff in these. If you go 3 games, you see everyone's staff.
I
And,
I kind of
we-
like that.
We've brought our ace back. We played strategies in the past where, we get a guy in there, try to give us 4 or 5, and then go to your ace if you got that light lead.
Very
Yeah.
kind of reminiscent of like an MLB bullpen in
Like,
the playoffs.
like
You start
Madison
seeing
Bumgarner
Yeah, you
the
start seeing
Giants.
starters warm up in the bullpen where you never see that in the regular season. So, yeah, that's very cool. I could absolutely see where that could create some drama. And then, of course, like say in game 1, something chippy happens. Well, that kind of sets the tone for the whole series. And I could see where that would get intense as well. So,
It does, because it's us and Hadley. It's pretty fun. It's comical, and we've had some nail biters, and I mean the series is just super intense, and usually our series brings big crowds.
sure.
Good.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I think it's important for people listening out there to know these heated rivalries, they get intense, and that is part of the big fun of town ball and between you guys and Hadley. Like you're saying, especially in a playoff atmosphere, there's no better time to go check out a game.
It's just cool to think that like before even a state tournament game, you've got games like this all over the state. You might find teams that either don't like each other, or it's just an electric factory when they play each other, and you get these big crowds, and it's got a very strong local following. It's fun to think about that. It's happening all over the state. And what's cool is you've got obviously you'd opened up, you had won your first series. I believe it was Fox Lake. Is that who you were
Yep.
matched up against? Okay.
Yeah.
You had a pretty solid pitching performance out of your. Would you say is he your number 1? And just give us his name, because obviously we're bad with names.
Luke Gilbertson.
Luke
And,
Gilbertson.
yeah, he is our number 1 right now.
Well, he showed it.
Strong righty. What's Luke's background, and how old is Luke?
Luke is about probably 27, 20.
Right in his
Yeah,
prime.
probably 27. Yeah, he's a Windom boy.
Sure.
He was a great athlete in high school. Went off to St. Mary's, and he was a pitcher there. And he shoved then, and he's been shoving for us ever since. And we've used Luke as our number 3 pitcher for many years, and Luke's been our guy in game 3s.
Nice.
And that's the ace in our sleeve, as we always had him.
Awesome.
And I don't think we brought it up, but he threw a perfect game.
Yeah, that's why we want to talk about
Yeah.
it.
Talking
It
about
wasn't a good performance. It was an elite performance.
He threw a
This guy-
perfect
It
game
was-
in game 1 of your first series, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
okay.
threw a perfect game. on Thursday.
So give us, you got to run the whole thing down for us. What was it like?
Put us in the dugout.
Well, yeah, pretend we are also pirates and we're in the dugout. What's the vibes like in there? What was everybody think? Was anyone telling someone else, don't jinx this? Was there any of that going on?
Just
Or?
let him sit alone by himself in the corner.
I missed it. I was not
Oh,
not in the dugout.
Okay.
I had we were supposed to play Wednesday.
sure.
Gotcha.
We got rained out, and my best friend was moving away, so we had a little going away party for him on Thursday.
Sure.
Okay.
And I got a guy, Jacob Johnson. He's a Windom grad. He's a good friend of mine.
Right-hand man.
Right-hand man, and he takes a big role in this with me. So it's like I'm not
Gotcha.
alone in any of it.
Sure.
He loves this stuff, and it's fun having him around, and he's kind of been taking a more of an initiative on it. But so yeah, he was in charge Wednesday night, but I was sitting on the radio, listening to the radio the whole game.
Well,
And it was electric.
absolutely.
I mean,
Shout out to
I
Jacob for stepping in. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're going to ask you to step away
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
next
say,
time,
maybe
the next
don't
time he
show up.
pitches?
If I were Jacob, I'd be like, "You're good.
Why don't
you
you
can
just
stay home,
take
Chief.
the night?
Bub. I got this, Bub."
he will too, because he missed. Jacob coaches third base for us. He's very good at it, and I love it because I take first, and
Yep.
I get to chat with the boys when they get to first base, and but so Jacob was gone a couple days, so then I took third base, and we put up over 20 runs, and I said, buddy,
yeah.
you ain't getting your job back. We'll go back and forth at each other. It's
That's
fun,
fun.
and it's like if life comes up, and either of us got to miss. It's like we have one another to kind of rely on.
Absolutely, really cool to have that, and like you said, credit to him on that one. Let's obviously give Luke his. It's Luke, right? The pitcher.
Yes. Yep. Luke Gilbertson.
Give
So-
Luke his flowers, but credit Jacob for stepping up.
So did Jacob tell you? I mean, you're not there to see live in person, but I'm sure word got to you what was working for Luke that day. How did he go about it? Did he just pound the zone, or his stuff was really moving, or what was going on?
Luke threw 86 pitches.
No,
Oh,
way.
hell yeah.
The Greg Maddox
Let's
go.
perfect game.
He threw 86. He never had a 3-ball count.
Oh, that is
He
awesome.
just pounded that zone. And when Luke is on, he's on, and he gets the guys guessing. Luke don't shove 80. Luke shoves anywhere from that 65 to 70, 72 range.
That's so awesome.
He's a crafty, very crafty.
Fella. That's awesome. Yeah, to do. I mean, a perfect game at this level against any team is so impressive. It really is.
Yep. Yeah, and crazy thing is that's our second one.
Second
Wow.
one in how many years?
Oh, probably 7.
7 years.
Okay, who was the
You know,
last guy to?
Colin Lovell, and he's in our dugout.
He's still
Right
playing
on.
for you.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's so cool. So you get the perfect game, and you're on to the next series here. You're what do you expect? What does Hadley bring to the table? You're playing him during the year, obviously.
Yeah, we played Hadley during the year.
How'd those games
beat-
end up?
It was a tight game. Through 5 or 6, and then we lit the scoreboard up after that. We started getting to them, and we 10-runned them.
Oh, wow.
Made him walk the plank.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Terrible joke. Sorry,
I know
guys.
that there was, we did some preseason predictions as far as who we thought would maybe come out of that region. I'm trying to even imagine what we picked.
I picked Windom.
You did.
There you go.
Don't be
Of
stupid.
course,
I'm
he
just
says.
saying. I was afraid for a second that we didn't have their name out there. Did we? What else did we pick out of that 10C? I mean, it was either Hadley. I think it was Hadley.
I think it was. It was either Hadley or Jackson, but I think it was Hadley.
I think it was Hadley. So
that
we're
can't
not.
happen
It
now.
cannot happen. We're gonna see.
Can only be one.
There can only be one.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see either the 2 or the 3, which you mentioned was Jackson or
Milroy Irish.
Milroy
Is
Irish.
Hadley? Do you have to play at Hadley's ballpark, or do you have all the games?
Nope. So we'll play Wednesday in Windom, and then Saturdays in Hadley in the bowl.
In the
In the
bowl,
bowl.
skin infield.
Oh boy.
Skin
Let's-
infield.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're down in it, and then everyone sits on the sides,
Yeah.
and it's entertaining because
Oh,
they
yeah.
chirp, they chirp at you hard.
That's awesome.
They're not holding back. And then
They do not.
It'll be a playoff level chirp too. It'll be intense. You think about these games that have like high tension. I think about in our league. There's a few matchups that kind of bring that. It just invites that air. Just feels a little bit different, and that sounds like you got that down south with you and Hadley. It'll be a good.
It's going to be a great series.
Great series. We're excited for that. Like we said, when this drops on Wednesday and everyone's listening, and of course, our thousands of fans out our tens of fans that are listening, come out and go see a game in Windom 100%. That'll be a good time.
Before we kind of let you go here, what's the distance between Windom and Hadley?
All about 35 miles.
Oh, okay. So it is a little
There's
bit
a
of a
little
hike.
bit of a
Okay,
jaunt
okay.
there.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's not bad. It's just on the other side of Slayton,
Yep. Yeah.
and it's Hadley is a small town.
Right.
Hadley has a baseball field and a bar,
Love it.
Not even a church.
and
They don't even.
The trifecta.
and Myron, he runs Hadley, and he runs the baseball field and runs the bar.
He's got it all
perfect.
covered.
Is he also
got it all
is he also
covered.
the mayor?
The light.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Well, so there's 4 teams now left in your region. We've got it's you, it's Hadley, it's Jackson, it's the Milroy Irish. Maybe just for the listener out there that doesn't quite get to any games for these 4 teams, why don't you give us like a little bit of insight? We know about Luke, and he's a good pitcher. Do you have any standout hitters on your team? And then with the other 3 teams involved, who are some arms to look for? Who are some bats? Who are some good players on representing these teams?
So a couple guys on our lineup, we got some real good hitters that came out of Marshall.
Okay.
That played at SMSU. We picked up this year. We picked up Jake Tower and Keenan Wenzel.
Okay.
Both very good hitters, and we still got Alex Fink and Drew Rothenberger playing for us, and that's kind of our 1 through 4 right there.
There you go.
Gotcha.
And they've been, they're all batting, 350 or above.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, and a couple, we still have we have the ace in our sleeve in the bullpen for us as our number 1 pitcher that hasn't started this year, but Colin Lovell.
Okay.
He sits in our bullpen, so we get in trouble, we go right to him, and he's still pumping 85 to 87.
Mm-hmm.
He's your go-to guy.
Yep, he's our go-to guy. He's been our go-to guy for, ever since I've been here.
Wow.
Other teams around, Hadley has some real good pitching. They got Tucker Sorensen. He's a big lefty, throws hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He had 21 strikeouts in the first round.
Jeez.
And that's gonna be the thing with him is, we got to get on him early, and just hit the ball,
Sure.
put the
Yeah.
ball in play. And then he, tends to struggle a little bit with that. But I mean, if he gets dialed in where he's striking guys out, he kind of feeds off that.
For sure.
And then You go to Milroy, they got some good bats up there with Derek Smith and Dominic Dolan and Tyler Mayer. And Tyler's their ace up there.
Okay.
Very tough kid. He beat us last year in game one of our series last year. But we didn't see him yet this year. But yeah, they're a tough team up there.
Yeah, I saw
And,
that. Did they open up against was it like a frog?
Yeah, they played the Lakefield Horn
Oh,
Frogs.
the Horn Frogs. Okay.
Yep.
And I saw that
Actually,
they were,
Friday night they went 11 innings with them.
Oh, wow.
And pulled it out at the end. Yeah, to win the series.
Okay. And that was game 2. So I think game 1 I looked and they had, I don't know if they had 10 rundum or what, but
Yeah, they beat them 10-0.
maybe came back feeling a little too good about that number 1 game and kept it a little tight in game 2. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and then Jackson, I'm sure you were about to get into that too.
Jackson's tough. I mean, Jackson always, seems to put it together at the end, hitting wise. And they run with Easton Barr, Andy Wolf, Seth Bush. They're a tough out there, especially Andy Wolf. He's a veteran. He's 47 years old, and he's probably one of the toughest guys to get out in the league. He either gets hit, he walks, or he hits singles.
I love you lead off with he gets hit.
Yep, he's good at
crowding
it.
the plate a little bit.
He's doing everything.
Throw that elbow in the zone.
He crowds that plate, and he gets on base.
He's
crafty.
He's a savvy vet. He knows what to do.
That's right. Sounds like a pretty good group of teams that are, whoever comes out of it is going to represent that area pretty well. You obviously, with the reclassification, you looked at a couple teams that had left Class C. You had Laverne and you had
Fairmont.
So, I mean, 2 very, very good teams that have probably come out of that region in the
They've come out
past.
of our region for a long time.
Yeah. So when obviously that reclassification hit and that news came out, you just kind of what did that mean to you guys? Did it kind of just click that now the opportunity's there and you've got to?
It's kind of a bummer because you put them in the mix, and we were always getting 3 or 4 teams when we had those 2 in.
Right, right.
Now they drop us to 2, and it feels like it gets more tighter this year.
Yeah.
To get out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's always been fun having those 2 teams in, and it just makes it very challenging.
That's a good point that you make on the reclassification. So, some people might think, okay, well, these are 2 good teams that are no longer going to be involved in this region. Maybe some other teams have a better chance, but less bids. It's not like you're losing 2 bids and 2 teams. So you're not really gaining there, and maybe you're losing a little bit when it comes to, rivalries with those teams. But it sounds like, whatever you've been thrown at you, just like the rest of the state, you're kind of just taking it in stride here and trying to just play well.
That's just all we're doing right now.
Exactly. And anytime you get a good Class B team, a now Class B team, usually those teams have a pretty good following. They, if they've had success, you've got good crowds, and that could be another missing piece to all of it is, opportunity to have these 3-game series where you really load up the stands. Maybe you don't see that as much, but missing a piece there with those 2 teams going to be. Yeah, it's something that I haven't thought about. You talk about 2 teams leaving and then losing 2 bids. That's devastating. It makes it like you said, much tighter when you get to that postseason. So that's an interesting take on it all.
Yep. No. So it's gonna be an interesting ride here the next 2 weeks.
Win 2 games before you lose 2, and then you're into the big dance.
Yep.
That's fun.
That's the goal.
That's gonna be fun baseball down south in Windom and in Hadley. We're excited to track that. Obviously, we're coming up on well, gosh, from today, the selection show is in
2 weeks.
2 weeks exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
it's we're coming down to it here. We're gonna see a lot of good teams that are gonna fall on the wayside, and some good teams that are gonna earn their berths. And we're excited to see where it all pans out here, especially in the South there.
It's gonna be a fun couple weeks of baseball.
Fun
for
couple
everyone.
weeks of baseball, and then of course beyond that, it's going to be a lot of fun as well. As far as the distance for you guys, being a pretty far southern team, you're not seeing a ton of state tournaments in your backyard. What does it look like as far as the distance this year? If say, let's say a scenario, let's say Windom makes it. What's a drive time for you guys to get up to, say, Hutchinson?
Hutch is about 2 hours.
2 hour drive.
Okay.
Okay. So as
You know.
far as the southern teams, that is that about as far as it goes for these state tournaments. Obviously, last year a little bit maybe closer to you, but 2 hours is kind of that drive time for a state tournament.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of them around that 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, it'd be nice. I mean, that's kind of our goal in Windom.
Yeah.
I mean, to host a state tournament someday.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you have there is a concentration of so many teams kind of in that south central part of the state, and I think that I don't think it would shy anyone away from considering another a tournament down there. Are there some teams down there that have hosted? I know that
Springfield.
Springfield, of course. Yep. You
And
had
they were
Milroy.
with Milroy.
Yep.
And then I think that's as far as it's come this way.
As far south as it's been.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other
Yeah.
fields that you could say maybe have potential? I mean, you're talking about Windom being a future candidate out there.
Maybe some potential
Are there any
partners.
potential partners that you'd throw out, like, their field is super nice or has a lot of potential?
Yeah, I mean, like a St. James or a Springfield.
St. James, did they have a Fox 9?
They did.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, they had that town ball come through there one night.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, both those two got real good fields, and they're both 25 miles away.
Yeah,
They're the closest ones. I mean, obviously you got Milroy, that's pushing an hour away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to get down there to get state tournament down here, just with all the work that we put in, and I never did mention, but Mike Jackson,
Mhm.
he's our board president, and he's the guy who lives at the park with me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like he's there more. So I mean, we're a great team down there.
Uh-huh.
He does all the infield work, like
Sure.
the grass on the infield, and I take care of all the outfield and behind home plate and all that stuff, and we just make one good team. And
Yeah, that's a good setup you got then.
It sounds like, you got some good support, and I think that can get overwhelming if you're a one-man show on a field, and
Yeah.
that happens around the state. There are teams that you've got one guy kind of shouldering the load, and having any sort of support, that's huge. Even if
it's nice, and I mean, it's fun. It's fun to work on fields. I'll tell you what.
Oh gosh,
Oh, yeah.
It's fun to.
You're
it's
preaching
fun
to the choir here.
yeah,
That's-
we're
fun
field
to
guys
do.
here.
I love it. It's something that just gets me excited. And like, I went to the Twins game last night, and every time I go to the Twins game, I'm looking at their grass. I'm looking at what the grounds crew's doing. I'm not worried about what the players are doing. I'm kind
You're-
of watching and
You're like, I see
seeing
a
what they're all
couple,
doing.
POA spots out there. Maybe they got to clean that up.
Yeah,
you can give them some tips.
Yeah.
They're taking a look at the field. I know that the Twins were dealing with some sort of like fungal growth in their outfield. And
Without
I seen that last night.
Yeah.
I don't know
A
if
lot
that
of
was-
spots kind of popping up, and
I think
kind
without
of wondering what all that was.
without getting too deep into the weeds and grounds crew type talk or turf talk, I think it might have something to do with the grass. It's a Kentucky blue. We're Minnesota, the climate, all that fun stuff. So it's tough to keep in good shape sometimes.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. No, but like you said, it is almost like some people will meditate and then other people will drive to the ball field and work on the field. There's like there's something you can gain. I think there's mentally it's a relaxing place to be during the summer, to just go out there and kind of just find new things or little things to work on. It's absolutely it's a great spot to be. So I totally understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah, that's kind of my one of my things is creating new designs at Highland Park for that outfield.
Oh yeah, you're a stripe guy.
Yeah, I do all the mowing out there, and and I stripe it all.
That's
And
awesome.
so it's like trying to create new designs and everything. I mean, the one big thing is that highway running next to us sits higher.
Yeah,
So
you want people to see it. That's
people notice it.
Oh, they love it.
I put a nice illusion in our field probably about a month ago, and it just drove everyone crazy. It was like, what is going on out there? And when I took a video and I scanned it around, it looked like waves.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was just a straight up optical illusion.
Sure.
Sailing the seas
So
of Windom.
hopefully not
Yeah.
causing too many car accidents on the highway. But yeah, to have waves out there and have the ship. I mean, you're playing into the whole scheme there.
That's so
We
cool,
love
man.
that. We love that.
Yeah.
It's it just sounds like a great setup down there, and you guys are doing it the right way. You got a good crew, good roster on the field, and a good product out there. If I'm in Windom, I'm going to watch these games. That's all I'm going to say about
You
that.
should, because you're gonna get some real good food, and
Ooh.
they'll sell beer, and
Maybe-
you just have Jim Garrison make you up some, of his famous pork nachos.
Oh
Pork
my
notch.
God. All
Okay.
right. Well,
what are you guys doing later tonight
yeah,
when
what-
this drops?
we might have to make a trip out to Windom. That sounds awesome. We didn't even get into the food. Sounds like you got a good setup down there. Yeah, it sounds like a really, really nice setup for a summer evening, going out and catching a game, the Pirates out there. So yeah, Nick, it was awesome having you. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to dig into.
that was great. That
It
was
was a
fun.
really fun time having you, and we wish you the best of luck. I don't know, we're pro pirate podcast, but of course we love our Hadley Buttermakers as well. But hopefully you guys have a good competitive series against them. That'll end. That'll actually start as you're listening here on the podcast. That starts tonight in Windom. And everybody else getting rolling with their playoff games. It'll be exciting to see how it shakes out. Let's see the Pirates in the postseason. All right.
Yar.
All right, thanks, Nick. Good luck, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. You guys have a great day.
Yeah,
too,
we'll
you
see
too.
ya. Bye. And that was our interview with Nick Kulseth, the manager, the captain of the ship down in Windom. Yar. That was hilarious. The sign off of the pirate.
So good.
That was iconic. We're happy to have him on here, and it's kind of cool to just continually expand our network of these town ball people, because there's so many good people out there, and you get to meet a guy like Nick over the phone, and
Fun dude.
we were happy to have him, and we wish him luck. We want to see those guys in state, and maybe we'll cross paths like physically with them on one of these state sites if they make it. That'd be a good
He's
time.
a wrestler. I don't want to cross paths
We
physically.
just grapple right in the middle of the infield for a couple minutes. No, we wouldn't
Couple
mess with him.
minutes, no
Well, I'm
chance.
just saying. No chance. No, really good having him on, and we'll for sure be tracking the results of that baseball down south. But I mean, that kind of goes right into what we're going to do in this last segment is focus 100% on playoff baseball. And it's so different across the state how certain regions and sections and districts, how they're formatting their playoff and how they're, how teams earn their berth to state. And that's kind of what we want to do right now is kind of gloss over all of that and give people an idea. I mean, it can seem a little bit overwhelming. You go on Twitter and you see all these brackets and you see all these best of 3 series and you see this and that. You see pool play. And it's good to just kind of have a grasp on exactly how people are going about their business. And Hayes, our resident playoff expert here, is going to be leading the charge. So, Ryan, if you want to...
Yeah, we'll run down Class A. I'm not going to read every team.
No, you don't have to.
In every single section. But in Class A especially, there is 7 sections to go over. And you can pull up right on the website. It's pretty slick. It'll just has basically Google Sheets and different tabs. So, like Section 1, that's your traditional classic Cannon Valleys, your Meesville, Dundas teams, and they're matched up with some teams out of the DRS. And I know St. Patrick is the number 1 seed for that section.
I think what we should do, if we come across a section or a district or a region, maybe we just throw out, who's the high seed, who's maybe a favorite to come out of there. That would maybe something.
And they're going to get 4 bids out of there. So, and I don't have the results. I just do know St. Patrick's the one. They're doing a traditional bracket style double elimination tournament, modified, where if you go undefeated, you're the one. If you lose that last game, you're the 2. They don't have.
Sure.
If you're in the losers bracket, you can't get back to 1 or 2. You can get 3 or 4.
Right.
Looks like the high seed or at least a field with lights during night games are going to be the host. So there is no true main site.
Okay.
Section 2 is where we do get into the those best of 3 and best of 5 series, which is
best of 5,
which is pretty cool. And I know right now, currently, my St. Bonnie Saints, and I wear my St. Bonnie hat.
It's a beautiful hat.
They are deadlocked 1-1 with Chanhassen. And the winner of that series, though, the prize is getting the number 1 overall seed, and that's Chaska.
Oh boy.
So it looks like the 2-7 matchup is 2 Burnsville, 7 Prior Lake. Number 3, the Shakopee Indians, and 6 is Egan. And then number 4, Waconia, and number 5, Victoria. It looks like they're doing best of 5 series.
Wow.
Shifting back and forth, so there's no one site. If
you really get to see a team's pitching staff,
you
in a
will
best
know
of 5.
their staff. You'll know their closest family. You'll know their neighbors by the end of that series.
Favorite color.
Yep.
And so
their favorite food.
favorite food.
They are also going to get 4 bids out of theirs. Section 3, a little trickier to dive into. They are also looks like they're doing series.
Okay.
And it looks like shorter ones, best of 3. And it looks like quite a few of these games are at Castle Field in Anoka.
Beautiful ballpark.
It looks like we got Shoreview as the 8 seed, but we don't have a number 1 seed yet determined.
Okay.
So if we get any information about them, but that's your Metro Mini. So your North Metro, Andover, Anoka, Centennial, Champlain Park, those squads.
Sure.
Section 4, we'll move over to Section 4. They're doing 2 rounds of series. These are all at Parade.
Okay.
So Lions Pub, the Minneapolis Cobras, #Behold, the Mudcats, the River Rats are all got a bye to round 2. They're the top 4 seeds. It looks like the Minneapolis Angels won a series over the Minneapolis Blue Sox, so they jump into round 2, and then kind of left to be determined. Looks like the Crystal Cowboys, Metro Merchants, and those teams are still alive to get. Looks like one more one more spot in that second round, and so it looks like they're doing best of 3 series there. Like I said, all down at Parade to get to their couple of teams that are making the state tournament. Section 5. This one also, well, they have a play-in game, and we have a play-in game that'll have been finished by the time we air.
Sure.
Our hometown Buffalo Bulldogs are going to host Max Strength.
Mixed strength.
Mixed Strength, baby.
Snack wrap is back.
Yep, so that game will have been played by the time we air, but that's the play-in. Buffalo, actually, the 7 seed, just took the 7 seed as they were moved to Class B very late on, and didn't sound like they were going to be able to just fill their schedule with A games, because I think they had already had 20 games on the schedule out of the North Star League. But after that, it's they do have Plymouth in baseball. 365 are the 1 and 2 seeds, and 4 is Hopkins, 5 Northwest Orioles, and number 3 is Minnetonka. So 4 and 5 play a best of 3, and then Buffalo Max Strength will play a best of 3 with Minnetonka. Then they move on to a best of 3 with Plymouth, which is, I think, the Hit Dogs, and Baseball 365. So that's your section there. Section 6, these games are all down at Dunning in St. Paul. And it looks like they're doing something similar to what the Minneapolis side did, where 1, 2, 3, and 4 all get byes essentially to a second round, and that's the Mud Hens, the Hops, our buddies from Air Freight, and the St. Paul Capitals. And the team's trying to get them last couple of spots. It looks like it's between Highland Park, Twin City Saints, the Rosetown A's, and the North End Biscuits.
Okay.
Again, that's all
Great
down at
names.
Dunning. Yeah.
Down at
So
Dunning.
they're doing some series for that. Section 7, all it says is best of 3 series. 1 versus 6, 2 versus 5, 3 versus 4. But I can pull those teams up quick. That's our Skyline League. So
Sure.
Metro Knights, the North Stars, the North St. Paul Snowmen, St. Anthony Hogs, Stillwater Loggers, Stockman's Irish, White Bear Township. Not quite sure how those standings have fallen.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, that's what Class A is kind of shaping out for playoffs. So some things to keep an eye on here
Yeah.
in the next couple weekends.
Said A is kind of just is where, like, yeah, not like a true site host. You're looking at mainly wherever the best fields are available. They're a lot of those teams play at Parade.
Well, when you're doing a best of 3 series, it's gets a little tricky too
Yeah.
to have them all at one place.
Of course.
Yeah. So now, Jordan, did you want to go over anything in B and C?
Yeah, I'll jump into B here. So starting with District 1, this is taking place at Brennan Field in Hinckley. We're
Hot
all
for Hinckley.
hot for Hinckley.
Everybody's hot.
It
for
is
Hinckley.
going to be hot.
They're,
course.
Yeah, they're into it here. They've kicked off. They're going teams remaining in this district right now. We've got Isanti and Hinckley have already advanced to they've already advanced in this, but other teams involved currently, we've got Chisago Lakes, we've got Cold Spring, Sartell, Princeton, and Hinckley
all
and
the way
Isanti.
down.
Yep.
So North Branch and Albertville are also involved. Sauk Rapids, St. Joseph, they're down in the loser side of the bracket now currently. So those are the teams in District 1B at Brennan Field, hot for Hinckley. Moving on to District 2. So this is taking place, I'm not quite sure.
High,
It looks
high,
like
high seeds host, but it looks like Red Wings
Wing
going to
and
have
Austin.
the.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
an 8-team modified double M bracket. We've got the Austin Greyhounds, Rochester Roadrunners, PEM, what is that?
Plainview, Elgin, Millville.
Oh, we've talked about them,
yeah.
I think.
I think we have.
And then Northfield, we've got Stewartville, Racine. How do you say it? I
Racine.
don't know. Racine.
You're
Okay,
good.
I got
You're
it
good.
right. I don't want to get
It
names
looks
wrong.
like they only get 2 state bids
Yep.
out of that
Yeah.
district as well. So you got to win 3 games.
Right. Winona, Red Wing, Dodge County, they are all also involved. So yeah, they get 3 bids.
And that one starts this upcoming weekend, so this will be set. This is set in stone for when we air here on Wednesday.
I'm looking at into District 3B now, and they've got a lot of info here for us, which is good. But they are doing an 8-team modified double elimination bracket. We've got the number 1 seeded Jordan, 3 high seed. It looks like not all the teams have been set yet for this, from what I can see anyway. But Jordan's in, New Prague, Eagle Lake, Union Hill, and Webster are all a part of this. More teams to be determined. They get 4 bids. So, yeah, 4 bids. Moving on to District 4. 4B,
Victory League.
Victory League. This is in Avon and Sobieski. Looks like games.
Looks like
1 through 7 is in Avon. 8 through 10, Sobieski. We've got how many bids here? 3.
Yep.
All right. So, trying to read. Look, has this not been set yet?
Nope, it hasn't been set because I know we played Avon last night. I think they play Sobieski Sunday, so I'm guessing that's going to be
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
it's
it's usually state tournament teams.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that'll
It's
be
the-
a swing game.
It's the Victory League. So that's,
You know what you're going to get.
all
out
you
of
need
them
to know
teams.
there.
They're solid.
Right.
District 5B, this is Bluffton, New York Mills, Deer Creek, all working together to host this. It's a 5-team bracket, which, I mean, anything can happen. I
Yeah,
guess,
you've
in a
got your
5-team
low seed.
bracket.
You got your 4 and 5 battling out to play Bluffton, the 1 seed.
Yep, 4 and 5 is Dilworth and the Bemidji Blue Ox. The winner of that gets the number 1 seeded Bluffton. We've got Ada and Fergus Falls. And there is a loser's side to this bracket as well. So they get, let's see, 2 bids.
seed, yeah,
so
2
2 of
bids.
5, 40%
Pretty
chance,
good
if my
rate
math
there.
is
Pretty good clip.
But some good teams in that district. We'll see who comes out of there. District 6. This is all in Watkins. We know some of these teams because we're in a league with them.
A lot of North Star League teams.
This
here.
is a North Star League / Central Valley League teams on the B side. We've got Cold Spring and Hamel, who just played Cold Spring. Rockies beat the Hamel Hawks, so they become the number 4 seed out of the CVL side. Now we go into an 8-team double elimination type bracket. So Hutchinson Huskies, Cold Spring Springers, Rockies, that's your first game. St. Martin Martins and the Maple Lake Lakers, Loretto Larks, Watkins Clippers, Kimball Express, Maple Plain, Diamond Devils, an 8-team modified double elimination.
I see Friday,
bracket.
August 1st, they're going to try to play a 6 o'clock game and get that second one started at 8:30.
They're doing a double up
Good
on
luck.
Friday night. That's tough.
have
we've
fun.
we've seen that before, and if you have a drawn out first game, that second one could be a 9:30 start.
Make your volunteers feel welcome because that might be a long night.
Yeah, it could be a long one. But yeah,
we've got 4 bids coming out of that one. We'll see who comes out.
Is there 4 that come out of that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
4. The backup site there, if there is rain, and God knows there hasn't been any rain at all this summer. Maple Lake is the backup site, so if there's any other games, they'll
Gotcha.
be played there. District 7. Now, there is maybe, I don't know, Ryan, you want to talk about District 7?
Yeah,
Maybe you
yeah.
should
This is
talk
your
about
show.
No,
this
that's
one.
fine. Absolutely. So we will know who is going to be the 6th seed as West Tonka and Green Isle played Sunday night over in Watertown. Watertown's the host. So winner of that one is going to be the 6th seed. We have broken it down into 2 pools, Group A and Group B. Group A is number 1, Young America, number 4, Plato, and will be number 6, either West Tonka or Green Isle. So each one of those teams is going to play each other, kicking it off Thursday night with YA against the 6th seed. And then the other pool is Watertown's 2, Delano 3, and Carver is 5. So each team playing each other once. Actually, kind of works out nice. Watertown, the host, the 2 seed, plays that Friday night game, 7:30. That'll be a fun one. They got Carver.
Packed house.
Yeah, it'll be. I think it'll definitely be packed. Watertown is in my opinion, arguably one of the higher drawing teams in our league, if not the state for sure, in Class B. So from there, 2 teams from each pool go to weekend 2. And we cross over pools and play a 4-team double elim for 3 spots in the state tournament.
Wow. That's a little bit more of a unique approach than all the other ones we've seen. You see a lot of these double elim modified brackets, and now you get some pool play into bracket play. So definitely unique. And like we said, if you want to really dive into these, you can go on the State Board website. They offer it in a pretty well put together spreadsheet. You can, tab by tab, you can see how each district is approaching, the games and where they're being hosted. It's just a ton of information.
That's how we're doing it.
That's how we're doing it. And we just got our District 8 here.
Yeah, we'll wrap up B with District 8. This one, so there's 3 bids coming out of District 8. All of these games taking place at Johnson Park in New Ulm. I don't know any of the teams in this because they're not.
This is your Wilmer Indians. This is Raymond, Laverne, New Ulm.
So on the bracket
Bird
here,
Island.
I'm just seeing Team 1, Team 2. But that would be Corn Belt and
it's 5 leagues.
Oh this is our hodgepodge.
Yeah, it's the North Mankato Gators, Bird Island and Raymond from the Corn Belt, the Fairmont Mighty Martins from the First Night League, Laverne from the Gopher League, and the New Ulm Brewers from the Tomahawk East League.
So this is where Laverne and
Fairmont
went. Okay.
Yeah.
No longer joining Windom in theirs. So,
yes.
All right, that makes sense. So 3 bids, and that wraps up B. John, you want to do some C stuff?
Yeah, I can dive in. You guys you can hold my hand as I get through this too.
Well, I got the teams pulled up. So if you got the brackets,
we do. We do have a bracket here. I'm looking at Region 1.
We're starting with a huge bracket.
This thing it looks a little overwhelming, but again,
did you guys ever see basketball?
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going here.
When they have, and I haven't watched it in probably 15 years.
Of course,
yeah.
But they have different brackets, and
If you,
it's a hilarious
if you
scene.
can get through this grueling bracket, you move on to the 484 team super sectional. Yeah, that's what this looks like for us right now.
It looks like we've got Clear Lake and Clearwater hosting these Region 1 games, and
they're in it. The games have already been going.
Yeah, they're well into it. I've been following the Twitter accounts. They've definitely been playing games. It looks like there is 2 teams coming out of this. The teams that are playing, you've got Quamba, you've got Bram, Ham Lake, Ogilvie, East Bethel, Becker, Mora, Cambridge, Clear Lake, Clearwater, St. Francis, and Now Then.
Yeah.
That's a bracket.
Yeah, it is.
I think it looks like it might just be a double elim bracket, and you just got to grind your way. If you find yourself in that losers bracket, it looks like you got to play about 6 games to get that second.
And I think it's going to get even worse here with Region 2, because I think that's the big 17-team double elim.
I would assume, before we move on to Region 2, I would assume that Clear Lake and Clearwater, I know that they have sites listed, but do you think they get to play at their home park if they're in a game? Or what if they play each other?
Oh,
then
that's
what
a good
happens?
point.
Neutral site.
Yeah, there is a few things that say like to be determined as far as the site. So maybe they have that in mind a little bit. They said, well, what if the sites match up? That's a good
they're
question.
Playing each other, and then they're like, well, go to Quamba.
As a host, you want your admission numbers to be as high as they can. You want your region to represent, and the best way to do that is have home games for your your region
Yeah.
host, I guess. So, yeah, that's quite the bracket to lead us off. Region 1 getting
It doesn't get any easier.
2 bids. I'm afraid to hit the next tab. It's Region 2.
This one's, I guess we can say it's easy because it's literally 17 teams, double limb.
All right, here's what we're going to say. The teams, first off, the host. You've got Springfield and you've got Sleepy Eye. They are combined. They're hosting 28 games. Is that what it says? Oh, my gosh.
I love it.
That's crazy.
But you know what? Hey, they're all playing these next 3 weekends.
Yeah.
Nobody's done.
They're all playing
kinda
ball.
got a shot.
2C's
That's right.
attendance numbers gotta be good, right?
Holy
after this,
smokes,
after 20, whatever.
Even if they average 40
and
people at these
and it is the
games.
Corn Belt League and matching up with the Tomahawk.
Yeah,
so
so-
your Cortlands and
Yep.
Fairfax and Springfield. I do think Essig beat the
It says
Fairfax.
they beat
Yep.
Fairfax.
Essig beat Fairfax. So Fairfax,
earn-
I think, is done.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks like the elimination. It was single
Essig
elim
got
there.
bumped down to the losers bracket after getting thumped by
Yeah,
Cortland.
running into they earned the right to play Cortland.
Cortland is a bunch
course.
of bullies.
Yeah, it's
Bully
bully ball
ball.
in Cortland for sure. So that in terms of the other teams involved, you've got Gibbon, you've got Granite Falls, Lamberton, Sacred Heart. They're already in their second round of games, but you got Milroy, and that is the Yankees.
Yep.
The Yankees. And then Stark, Marshall, Searles, which we saw on Twitter. Searles with an upset win over the 1-seeded Corn Belt Marshall A's. That's a
Huge
10
win.
over 1. We got drama already in Region 2.
A lot of brackets busted.
Brackets are just busted. ESPN, there's nobody left with perfect brackets. You got Springfield, Sleepy Eye. You had Springfield winning that one. Hanska over Wabasso. You had Leavenworth beating St. James. And then, those teams then head to the losers bracket. The route from the losers bracket, let's just say this. 1,
It's a
2,
grind.
3, 4, 5, 6 games you got to play.
Is that more games that you have to win than winning a state title?
Yes.
It's
'Cause it's
right there.
fi- it's like
now.
5
Yep.
now.
It's the first 2 weekends and then the
and
3 games.
And the other part of this region I love is the burner accounts are out for blood on this one because there's some major trash talk between the Tomahawk East League and the Corn Belt League.
Yeah,
and the Tomahawk League is just dominating.
Fire
right
your
now.
burners up. Let's hear it. Is it 4 bids?
That one
four
is
bids.
It
4
looks
bids.
like 4 bids. Yep.
Yep.
That's a wild one to track. We're interested to see how it all plays out. But Cortland has got to be the big favorite to come out of that Region 2C.
Bulletin
right.
board material, Gibbon.
Yeah, Gibbon and whoever else of the 97 other teams that are in there. But on to Region 3.
Little easier here.
Little bit easier. This is they call it a pigtail game between the 12 and 13 seed. I believe that's just a play-in game, right?
Yeah,
A
loser
pigtail.
leaves town.
Loser left town.
leaves town.
You have first round is single elim, which is that the play-in game we're talking about? That's
would be,
considered the first round. Then
Yeah.
it goes into double elim, just
Which is-
like a regular.
Which has already been set, it looks like.
Has it been?
The single limb games were played.
Oh, for sure.
So now
for
we
sure.
have...
Well, it was Hancock versus Appleton, right?
so Hancock versus Appleton to decide the final spot.
Right.
Hancock earned that.
So Appleton was out.
So we've got a list of single limb games. Those have been played. Winners have been determined, and now we're left with
so-
8. So do you see where I'm looking at here?
Yeah. So you're saying, let's look at this Chokio versus Rosen
Chicago.
game. Sorry, Chicago versus Rosen. You're telling me that Chicago is they're
done.
That's single elim at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
that's
then
a
you
pretty
move to
cutthroat
a double. Yeah.
That's a cutthroat region to have everybody seeded and just say first round you lose, you're done.
Yep. And
So that's-
and it looks like 4 teams the top 4 had buys then into that double.
So-
Rosen took a 5-4 win in 11.
Yeah, so they've earned the right to play the Morris Eagles, which I believe are the 1 seed.
Yep.
It's going to be Morris, Rosen, Madison, Minnesota, Clinton, Cottonwood, Dumont, Benson. Then now they're in that double Elim, and they've got two
bids.
Yeah, the
Oh, wait, it
Lando.
says top 3 teams advance to state, so they have 3.
Oh, so if you lose that, wait a minute here.
I think
If you lose that winner's side bracket game to go to the title
Sure,
game,
sure.
you just get whatever.
Yeah, they're only getting 2 bids, and that's your Lando Ducks, the teal Ducks, and the Wood Ducks combining for a
This
region.
is in so that first round of stuff was in Madison,
Oh yeah, the state
and
site. Or not
this
the state
coming
site.
weekend it's in Dawson, and then the final weekend is in Rosen and Ortonville.
Boy, they're really spreading out the the duties there.
Yeah, I
which-
think it's just based on lights or no
it's
lights.
a 19 game
Okay.
bracket.
Gotcha. All right. On to our next region, which is Region 4, and we are looking at
Our guys from Detroit Lakes.
Detroit Lakes. This is up north here. This is up north baseball. It looks like they've got a 8-team double elim bracket here.
It
and
looks
you-
like we can see the seeding on this bracket, but
Yeah.
do we know the teams who are in? 'Cause
yeah,
just
that
says-
would be the question.
It just
If we
says like
pulled up-
Lake and Pine
it's-
2, Red
yep.
River 2.
I don't think so. I think, by the time where this airs, yes, but I think there's still games technically over the weekend that are.
But you're looking at the Lake and Pine, the Red River, the Northwest Border, deciding who's going to make that.
and I'm pretty
region.
sure Detroit Lakes is hosting.
Yeah.
I believe they are. Yep.
Two bids, do we know?
2
Looks
bids. Yep.
like 2, yeah.
It's 2 bids. Yep, you've got.
Take a vacation to Detroit Lakes one of these
Yeah,
weekends and
yeah,
watch
go up
baseball.
there. There's going to be some good ball up there between, Lake and Pine, the Red River, and
Oh,
Northwest Border.
are they hosting? And they'll also have Wii Fest the same weekend.
That's ridiculous. Too many things.
Cancel
going
Wii
on up
Fest.
there. Yeah.
Baseball's more
Cancel
important.
it. All right.
Make this the headliner for Wii Fest. Say you go get nice and tuned up and go watch the
We'll listen to
games.
some Joe D. Messina wannabe, but
Bring
then you go
in-
to watch a
Yeah.
real ball game.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. We're into Region 5.
This one looks like it's going to be
Oh
fun.
boy,
to pick
I'm
apart,
looking.
too.
I'm looking right here. We should have spent more time prepping on this one.
Here's what we
You're
can.
good.
Here's
We
what
got
we
a
can
play-in
say.
series.
We know the seeding to start
Yes,
this.
we know the seeding. The
We'll
teams
go-
involved.
You got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Seeding involved for Region 5. You got the 1 seed Waterville, Cannon Falls, the 2 Blue Earth, 3 Waseca, Minnesota Lake, Pine Island, Wells, Morristown, Lake Crystal, Vesely, and Cleveland. That is your seeding. And you've got a play-in series, best 2 out of 3. You got teams right now playing games. You've got Lake Crystal playing Morristown, Pine Island playing Cleveland, Vesely versus Wells. You got at least play-in series basically
Yeah.
to earn the right to get to bracket play. You've got a. It looks like a consolation side of a bracket, but obviously that would go to like a loser
Elimination
side.
break.
Yeah.
bracket,
Elimination bracket, and then it goes to they have these play-in series, and then that just turns into an 8-team double elim bracket.
If you can stay on the winner's side, there's 2 of the 3 bids are earned on that side, and the third bid comes from the loser's
Yeah,
side.
they have it broken down really well. It's just a lot of information. It's you've got games that are going to be in Waterville, and then you get into like an if necessary type game, and that's going to go to the high seed.
seed.
And then it shifts into
Weekend 2
weekend
is-
2 in Cannon Falls. They've got 8 games that they are going to be playing in Cannon Falls in weekend 2. And then in that last weekend, it's going to be back in Waterville just to basically decide the finals and the seeding. And that is 4 games in that third weekend. So, yeah, a lot of.
Well, we didn't spend a lot of time on Region 5 because John hates Waterville
Well,
because he kept him out of his top
we don't.
10.
Yeah, that's a strong word. I'm very forgetful. Like I said, in my rankings, I forgot them one week, and I was basically, I wouldn't say my life was on the line by any means, but I was encouraged to include them in the next week's rankings. So we had a lot of love for Waterville. They're the 1 seed. And then you got your Cannon Falls Bears, which your guys.
I like the Cannon Falls Bears.
That's going to be a good
My
region.
Zorba's buddies.
Yeah, Zorba's buddies.
Oh, man.
On to Region 6. We're going to keep rolling. And this is, I mean, Hayes, if you want to talk about this, because this is Jordan and I, this is where we're...
yeah, we're going to... Maybe we should stay out of it.
We can let you talk through this because it is your old stomping grounds and the new...
Happy to do it. So, first of all, are you scared, John? Are you scared if you get Rockford?
Am I scared if I got Rockford?
You smell that?
Here-
It's fear.
Yeah.
What's a flock of crows called?
A murder.
And they're
Oh
coming.
my
God.
They're coming for the Blues.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. To be a matchup against us, they would have to lose today. So I don't know
tanking.
if you're cheering for them to
Tanking to
lose
get the
today.
Blues.
Tanking. What I've noticed, so this is Region 6C. It's kind of technically a lot. Well, it's going to look like a lot of old Region 12C because it looks like 5 of 8 are the North Star League teams.
Yeah.
There used to be a little bit of a curse if you were that 1 seed. So, and that's Litchfield.
Putting that evil on you right now.
We disavow all
the
curses here.
the 2015 Maple Lake Lakers, the 2016 Howard Lake Orphans, the 2019 Delno A's.
You got to stop.
You gotta
I'm
I'm gonna throw up.
Well, let's talk about the teams.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, and this one is hosted out at the Butte Optimist out in Litchfield, and second time hosting kind of a region here within a couple of years, and then mixed into it was a state tournament. So you're just really working them poor people out in Litchfield.
Yeah.
John.
Well, we enjoy it.
So no, Litchfield's the 1 seed out of the North Star League, and they'll end up playing Rockford or Cokato. A tough matchup too, because I know Rockford can got some young arms and Cokato can be a little sneaky. Howard Lake, the number 3 seed out of the North Star League, and then the Pearl Lake Lakers Central Valley League second place. And then Jordan's Dassel Cokato Saints grabbing the 2 seed out of the North Star League. They get the St. Nicholas Knicks, the 3 seed out of the Central Valley. Luxembourg, the number 1 seed out of Central Valley, is going to also get either Rockford or Cokato, the winner of that one. So that all kicks off Thursday night, and again, works out really nice. I've said it a few times. If you're hosting, try to figure out how you can open the whole tournament or play that Friday night game. So that Thursday night, July 31st, out in Litchfield should be a fun one. Should be a good one to kick off. It's also nice for the host to only have one game the day you're playing. Like, if you're playing, you're one of the 3 games Saturday or Sunday. Sometimes that's a good thing because you may be playing for a state tournament bid, but it's like getting the field ready. There's a game, then you're playing, then it gets to be long. So it's kind of nice for for that. But yeah, so 5 North Star League teams, 2 Central Valley League teams, and you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'd see 3 North Star League teams coming out of that.
I think that's
I
what you picked.
did. I picked U2 and Howard Lake.
And to be honest, Jordan and I have seen Howard Lake now 2 times a piece, and they're a lot better than they have been in the previous couple of years. They're a very they play the game really well.
I mean, they went into the last week or so 4-4, and I'm a little disappointed in you two. You had a chance to just bury them, and you let them sneak back in. Don't let them sneak back in.
I mean, personally, I didn't let them sneak back in, but
not according to Twitter that night. You guys played them.
No,
you guys snuck back in at the end. Took care of business.
Like I said, they're a tough team, and you said the 7 and 8 Rockford and Cokato. I mean, the North Star League has got some very competitive ball clubs there, and we don't know a ton about the CVL, but I'm sure Luxembourg.
We
is
know
gonna
that
be
Luxembourg
a
has
solid team.
kind of run the table. Those other teams, I mean, I've only heard things here and there from some some reliable sources, I suppose. But
Sure, yeah.
it's just like any other baseball game. You got to go play well.
Right. So then there will be 3 teams out of those 8 that will get state berths. So we're excited to host. Should be a fun time. And we are now on to Region 7. And this is going to be the old CRVLC. This is going to be some good baseball here.
This is your territory again.
Yep. So it's going to be Crow River Valley League, but then we also have some River Valley League teams.
Oh, sure.
Yep.
I see Bell Plain in there.
Yep. So this one is all out in the lovely town of New Germany. They just got lights put in, I think, a year or so ago. Cool little ballpark. It'll be a fun atmosphere. Another town that's got a couple bars and a main street. So that'll be a fun one. So they have some teams that automatically made it to the bracket play, which is going to be 2 teams, double a limb. 3 teams are going to go. Glencoe, Brownton, St. Peter, Cologne, and Le Sueur all got the buys into the bracket play. And then we have the best 2 out of 3 series. I think some of them are complete.
Yeah, they are.
So Brownton was the 5 seed. They swept the 12 seed Winstead. Gaylord, the 8 seed, swept the 9 seed Norwood, though I know that game 1 went down to the wire. I think it might have even gone extras. Arlington is the 7. They have the 10 seed New Germany. That one is tied up 1-1. And then Hamburg, Belle Plaine, Hamburg 6, Belle Plaine 11. That series is tied 1-1. Those games are going to be played here a few days ago. So, this will be a fun one, and really happy to see New Germany getting to host this one, because I know it was a big deal when they added. It's a big deal when anybody gets lights that hasn't had them for a while.
Of course,
that'll be a fun one. That'll be a raucous crowds out there.
Raucous crowd, yeah. The CRVL always bringing the people out. Good baseball, good food, good host. It's always a good time. So keep an eye on that one as well. All right, on to Region 8, and we're going to look at some teams here. I'm trying to think of the name, but we're looking at Paynesville,
Stearns County, and County Line League.
County Line League. That's what I was thinking about. You had it is looking like another 8-team double E limb bracket. You had Paynesville playing Richmond.
Look at the score of that game.
Yeah, it was a
slow pitch softball.
It was an 18-14 game. I don't know if the pitching was if they're holding on to their arms for their August 1st game.
You go around some ballparks in Minnesota, and it's like some of these are small fields. I don't think Spring Hill's a small field where there's a lot of home. I could be totally
There's
wrong.
some small parks in the
Stearns County, and
there are,
maybe
some unique
Spring
ones.
Hill does have some short porches. But.
Sure, but yeah, 18-14 game. Paynesville then moves on. They will play the 1 seed, the Spring Hill Springers, right? Chargers. My gosh, I'm thinking of my Cold Spring Springers. Spring Hill Chargers. That is slated for an August 1st start.
Friday night.
Yep.
This is a 8-team true double limb and
true double E limb.
They're doing the Friday 6 to 8:30 again.
Yeah, you're gonna see back-to-back games on a Friday night.
Yeah, but there's going to be 1,000 people there.
And,
this is a lot of your old Region 15C teams, and they were the number 1 drawing region. So
right,
in the state year in and year out. So
yep,
those are just 2 baseball games amongst a party.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is. It's just a baseball party, and yeah, it's just they're going to shut the town down to play them. You've got Starbuck, the county line number 2 seed. They're going to be playing the Stearns County South number 2 seed Roscoe. Oh, that Roscoe team we've heard from Kirby Hemish. They're a much better team this year, but Starbuck very good as well. You've got the county line number 1 seed is Regal. Regal is going to be playing El Rosa on August 2nd. That will be definitely a game to watch. I know El Rosa was a team that a lot of people had in their preseason top 10. But yeah, definitely a game to watch there. And then the Stearns County South number 1 seed Farming, the Farming Flames, are going to be playing the Stearns County League North number 2 seed New Munich. So, true.
We got day games in Spring Hill, night games at El Rosa.
They like to
That'll be
split-
fun. That'll be fun.
Splitting that up and giving multiple sites some love there.
Three bids? Or is it more than that or less?
I'm looking right now at our number of bids. It doesn't list.
Hold on, I'll figure.
It doesn't list exactly, but we could probably find it from another location.
This is 4.
Region 8 has 4.
Yep, they
that
get
makes
4.
sense if they
Yep.
if they are
If they're
a
bringing
good
in
drawing.
the droves of people.
Yep.
100%. Alrighty, on to Region 9. We are looking at
Victory League.
Victory League, and that is going to involve teams like the Piers Lakers, the number 1 seed. They are going to take on the 8 seed, which I don't believe has been
set. No.
set in stone quite yet. That's going to be a game. It looks like Piers is going to be hosting alongside Opal. That is the 2 sites. So you got the Piers Lakers opening up against the 8 seed. Then the St. Wendell Saints going to take on Uppsala. You got the Opal Bears playing Randall, and the 2 seed Piers Brewers taking on the not yet set 7 seed. So you've got 2 Piers teams that are the 1 and 2 seed out of that bracket. Boy, that would be a heck of a championship game.
It looks like the 7 and 8 could be.
We got Aiken and Freeport are in a best of 3 series, deadlocked at 1, and it looks like
Same with
St. Matthias and Royalton.
Okay, so
Home
that's
of what's that treasure place there on
Treasure City.
Treasure City?
Yeah,
they
the
got a
old-
lot of cool
If you got a cabin up north, you definitely have driven by Treasure City. You probably never stopped, of course, but you've definitely driven by it.
This looks this looks like the same bracket setup as Region 6, like we have. It looks like you determine the 7 and 8, you play double elimination.
Yeah.
And they
Very
have
much
they get
similar.
they get 4 teams.
Except they do a series to decide.
To get in.
side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they get 4.
They get 4.
Wow.
Good for them.
That's
That's the one I question.
Oh,
That's a callback. You got to go listen to the old episodes. All right, on to Region 10.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to talk?
Well,
anything
we
about 9?
can no. I was gonna say number 10. We kind of went over.
We
this
kind of
stuff.
did
talked
go over
about
this,
this with
Nick.
Nick already.
maybe
so-
we'll just refresh with who the seeds are.
Yeah, I mean we can go through that, but you've got he had mentioned you basically have 3-game series all to decide where you're going to end up, and you had the Windom Pirates. They had already knocked off Fox Lake. You got Milroy Irish playing the Lakefield Horned Frogs. They've already knocked them off. The Jackson Bulls. They knocked off the Worthington Cubs, and then the Hadley Buttermakers knocked off Pipestone. So now it comes down to Windom versus Hadley. The winner of that best of 3 is going to have a state berth, and then the Milroy Irish versus the Jackson Bulls to decide for those 2 state bids.
Tonight.
All right?
Tonight. Go
Oh my
watch
gosh.
it.
Yeah, that's right. Wednesday night, go out, whether you're going to Windom or Milroy.
Pork
That's gonna be-
nachos and pirate chips,
oh my
baby.
God,
Let's go.
what a combination. Alrighty, on to the last of it. We're on to the last region and the end of our playoff dive here.
This one's already deep into it.
Yeah,
We're
it is.
deep here.
Well, they had a lot of elimination games they got to knock
They
out.
just they're straight up saying high seed is home team throughout. So there's no true region host here. It
and 11?
but
Perham.
Yeah.
Perham and Deer Creek.
Perm and Deer Creek. Oh, that's interesting because
No,
it-
the higher seed is just the home team
Yeah.
throughout.
Oh, there's some games in Henning, too. Who is
gotcha.
Henning representing?
Henning.
Well, somebody on Twitter, let us know.
Yeah,
Henning.
we have to look into that more.
Yeah, but it looks like Deer Creek and then Perham, beautiful ballpark up there.
Of
so.
course. But yeah, that's going to be represented, I mean, we're already deep into it. We got New York Mills going to be playing the Sox Center Titans, Urbank, the Urbank Bombers, I believe they are, and they're going to be
Bombers.
playing Perm. The teams that have kind of fallen off the wayside here, in the loser bracket that could obviously still battle back. You got Ashby. That's my Ashby A's. Kensington. You got Clarissa, who beat Dent already.
Well, Dent, it looks like Dent forfeited. Oh. Maybe Clarissa could explain that all to us. If
Not a ton of people are going to understand that 1991 Nickelodeon reference that you just dropped there. That's great. Yeah, we would love to hear how Clarissa will explain that all. All right. Deer Creek playing Long Prairie. Henning versus Vergas. So, yeah, you had teams that we've already seen the end of their season, and you got teams that still have some games to go. You have how many state bids out of this here? I believe there's 2.
2.
So a lot of teams for 2 bids. That's that northwest area of Minnesota. A lot of traveling, I think, between these teams. It's
they're deep into this, especially on the winter side, but there's still 11 teams alive fighting for the 2.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild.
Fun region.
Yeah, fun region. It just goes to show you like how different everything is being approached. You've got regions that have 14, 15 teams that have 2 bids, and you got some have 8 and they're getting 4 bids. It's crazy how that can be set up, and lot to track, lot to cover, but I hope we did justice to it and you kind of have a better understanding. If you want and to really dive into it, go to the state board website. They have it pretty clear. It's just a nice link. It pushes you right into an Excel file with all the region and the sections and the district tabs, and pretty easy to navigate. So if you are curious, don't be a stranger. Jump on the website.
But I got a route here, and it's pretty heavily our side of the world.
Okay,
but you're gonna start tonight. You're gonna go down to Windom.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday
You're mapping
night
this out
baseball.
for it. Yeah.
Let's see it.
All right.
Thursday, you're gonna go out to Litchfield
Oh,
Dubuque.
hell yeah!
because you guys play Thursday.
We play Thursday night. Yeah.
Friday, you're gonna go to El Rosa.
Friday baseball
because you get
Sturgis County.
You get a double dip.
And that's a party. We already
Saturdays, obviously, you're going to Watertown because we play. And there's 2 games in Watertown that day. Sunday, you know what? Just
all play Saturday too.
I don't care about that.
They suck. They suck.
Maybe the second weekend.
Sure.
Sunday, you could go back to Litchfield and watch Dassel clinch their state tournament bid,
boy.
or you could go to New Germany.
Ooh,
Go to New Germany.
And you know what? Mix up. Go pontooning up at Detroit Lakes. There's going to be baseball being played.
That's the Wii Fest weekend. We're going to send people there Wii Fest
Oh,
weekend.
sure.
Oh,
so
that's
that's
the
the
time,
route,
yeah,
of course.
Hit up
Sounds like a
Zorba's.
great setup.
Yeah.
There's just so much baseball being played all over the place, and it's being whittled down. We're seeing teams that are ending their year, and it's eventually we're getting into what? It's a 48 team bracket for state, right? Am I wrong with that?
Each class has different numbers now.
32 for
32,
C,
sorry,
and then
32.
24 for B,
I was way off.
24 for A.
20. That's okay. 24 for A, 24 for B,
32
for C. So you're going to get to a point where you've only got 80 teams left playing ball.
And we'll get a chance to talk about those 3 sets of teams, and that we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah, we've already hinted at that. You keep an eye on the Twitter. We're going to try to do some dumb stuff here as we approach.
We don't have to try to do dumb stuff.
No, we don't have to. Sure. It just happens. It's going to be a good time. It's just a really fun time of the year. You see, it's fun. What I enjoy seeing on Twitter is like the last pitch of a clinching game. These teams that are rushing a pitcher, that are tossing water on guys. That's kind of what we're playing the game for. It's moments like that, and you're going to see a lot of those here in the next 2 weeks as teams clinch their state berth. So,
Yeah.
Oh man, a lot to go through, but it's fun to track. So I think with that all being talked about, I think we're going to leave it at that. We're going to let the baseball be played, and
Go catch it. Go catch a game.
Go watch some
Lots of
baseball.
them.
There's so many good games out there. A lot of good matchups. Boy, I'd say Class B, a lot of good baseball. Tough matchups for some really good teams. And then in Class C, you're going to see some new teams emerge out of that after the reclassification.
I used to have a former teammate who would say, "This is the best time of the year to be a Delano A." Well, this is the best time of the year to just be a town ball fan.
Yeah,
'cause
town
whatever
ball fan.
direction you drive, you ain't going to go too far, and you're going to find a very intense playoff
That's
game.
right.
So.
That's right. Well, Jordan, do you want to sign us off then for tonight?
I think I got the perfect thing to sign us off with. Thanks again for listening, all 14 of you out there. Until next time, yar.